one thing that drives tourists to go from place to place is colonial links. I'm here in Pondicherry. It's a former French colonial port in the southeast of India, and we still have the French consulate and a French presence, so there's lots of French architecture here and French influence. The kids, I believe, are learning French in school in this area. Now, one interesting thing is when a place is colonized is the heritage that they leave behind. So they left behind some intangible heritage about the language and maybe the cuisine, but they also leave behind tangible heritage that can be seen in architecture. It relates to heritage tourism. Heritage tourism is a big driver of tourism nowadays, but it's the local community often has to decide what do they show and what don't they show. So when India became independent, do they tear down the French architecture and build more Indian style, or do they keep the French architecture and be proud of it? Is it something to be proud of, or is it an embarrassment that, or not such a positive thing that this area was colonized by another country? So it's a decision for tourism policy makers. What do they show to tourists? What do they keep? How do residents portray their culture? And these issues are all related to heritage tourism. Other issues relate to authenticity. What's the authentic experience? If I come to India and I see lots of French architecture and French culture, do I really feel, am I getting the proper Indian experience? Again, this is up to the individual, but lots of different issues related to heritage. So I'm enjoying looking around Pondicherry for this reason.
Down at Pondicherry beachfront, we also see more French-style architecture. Panning around, there's even a statue of one of the early French colonists there.
Speaking of heritage tourism, I'm here just south of Chennai, and behind me is the Five Rathas. This was constructed out of stone, as you can see, and it was around the Pallava period in about the 1600s. So very old, very cool. I'm going to have a climb around.
Did I say the 1600s? I meant the 600s. That's how old it is. And in 1984, it was awarded UNESCO World Heritage Site. Each of these 5 monuments represents a chariot.
Right, a bit further along from the Five Raja is this one, and we've got a big panel there showing the moon god, the sun god, Shiva, Vishnu, elephants, lots of animals. One thing about the heritage tourism is if it's a monolith, something like this, one stone, everything's carved out of one stone, so that's what makes it incredible. But the stone also is much more sturdy, and people can walk on it, climb on it, and there's much less need for preservation and conservation for these heritage sites. You might wonder, back in the hundreds of years ago, before dynamite, before explosives, before tools, how do they even carve some of this? Well, I found out just recently. They make holes in the rock, and then in the holes they put the wood. And then with the wood they're pouring the water, and then that wood will expand to make it weak, and then they can use the elephants to tear it apart. And so you can see sort of on this one here where this process has taken place. Very ingenious. Even though they're made of stone, being 1300 years old, of course there's going to be some wear and tear, especially as we're close to the sea. The salt water eroding some of the shore temple. This is also an issue for tourism and historians, policymakers, on how best to preserve these heritage attractions.
Also on the Heritage Trail, I visit Dakshina Chitra, which is a living history museum in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu, which is dedicated to South Indian heritage and culture. The museum showcased people from 4 different areas: Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Apart from the dancing, you could see this weaver do his stuff on the loom. There was a chance to make some pottery, and you could also get your arm painted with some henna. There was a restaurant that served South Indian ethnic cuisine. So that ends my look at heritage tourism in and around Southeast India. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Travel Professors so you don't miss out on any future videos.